At the end of January, which takes place in only a few months, we are probably going to bear witness to the first ever 200% EZA'S. And I wanted to talk about what we could actually see regarding EZA'S for characters who have this 200% leader skill. Because when characters get, look, if it's super EZA, we know they don't touch leader skills, they don't touch super attacks, at least not yet. They just touch the passive. But for regular EZA'S, 9.999 times out of 10, the leader skill is going to change. So let's talk about what that change could look like. I'll also mention this, the reason why, in case people are doubting it, the reason why we know or that we have high hopes that these guys, or even just a belief in general, that these guys will EZA, is because for the last few years, they've had this schedule where every anniversary, they EZA characters from 3 anniversaries prior. So that's why during the 7th anniversary, they EZA'd both the 3 and for the 4th year anniversary LRs. And then during the 8th anniversary, they EZA'd the fusions, the 5th year fusions. And then now during the 9th anniversary, they EZA'd AGL-UI and Evolution Blue Vegeta. So following that trend that we've had for the last few years, during the 10th anniversary, we should again see these EZA'S right here. By the way, I am currently, if you're watching this, I'm currently on a vacation, so I'm just getting as much content out as possible for you guys, and this is one of those pieces of content. So again, sorry if I can't cover specific news, but at least we're getting this content out of the way, and this is something that I definitely would love to talk about. So if you want to see more videos like this, or of course, if you want to support, consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. Consider liking as well. Let's talk about it. So when it comes to these EZA'S, sorry, I'm a little bit sick as well. When it comes to these EZA'S, I think there's 3 possibilities that we can see regarding the leader skill, and I would love for you to let me know what you think. But the first one is just an increase in ki. Probably the one that's going to be, I don't know about the most likely option. I think it's definitely likely that they literally just do this. Because increasing the ki is going to make the team flow a little bit better. But I mean, like, it's the least effort option. I don't really want to see this if you're asking me personally, but I do think there is a legitimate option or I guess chance for this. If they leave it just like this, again, the teams itself, they're just going to be the same. I think this would be the option that makes things... How do I word this? If this is the route they go for 200% EZA'S moving forward, I don't think we really have a lot to look forward to be complete. Like, this is not super exciting. This is like the most underwhelming possibility. The next possibility that they can probably, look into is increasing the percentages. Now, when it comes to leader skill percentages, it's kind of tricky, right? If they jump it up to 180 here, the max you can get to is 210, which would mean the full team with both leaders could get up to a max of 420, right? Instead of your normal 400%, it'll be 420 because you only have a 10% increase. Or 190, which the number 190 seems like a sweet spot. I don't think they do 200%, only because that's like a carnival thing. That seems like it's specifically catered towards carnival characters. So I put it here just in case. I mean, it's possible. But I think these are the 3 numbers that are likely to, that we can see if they decide to increase the percentages. I don't think they'd increase the 30%, to be honest. And I also forgot to show that you can low-key also add ki here. Like, instead of having, you can do 3 ki and stats, 170%, and then an extra 1 ki and 30% to stats for the Kamehameha category. So that's another option you can do as well, but that still fall under the adding ki to the leader skill. So instead of adding ki again, you can change percentages, which I think would make it very, very interesting, especially if you go down like the 190 route. The 190 route would mean that a character now has a 220% buff to leader skill, which makes it 440% if you're using both, which would make it look very interesting for the characters that are on and do fit on this team. I think this is the second best option that you can have out of these three. First one, you know, the worst one being this one. The second best, I guess, being this one. And the third one, which I would consider to be the absolute best thing they can do, is instead of just increasing ki, which they can still do with this last option, or instead of just increasing stats, they can just make the leader skills themselves a lot better. And this is some ideas I had for both Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well as the Blues, or the gods who transform into the Blues. So I added Accelerated Battle and Final Trump Card, and that makes this leader skill go from looking like this to looking like this. So now all of a sudden you have Tech UI Goku on the team. All of a sudden here you have AGL UI Goku, makes the team infinitely already so much better. You have the 8th year anniversary GT Goku and Vegeta, which again, not like the craziest unit of all time, but still very, very powerful. The options here are, look at this, you have the new Gogeta, you have the Gammas. This team is just already infinitely better. You also have characters like Spirit Bomb Absorb. Like, look at this. This team, and even when it comes to TURs, just becomes so much better. God Goku is all, yeah, God, wait, does God Goku exist here? Am I blind? Well, no, God Goku isn't on Fuse Fighter GT Heroes. So Accelerated Battle, again, introduces a lot of reason to run these guys as leaders. So I think, and this, in my opinion, is the best option, because now you have a new EZA character, which I'm assuming this EZA is going to be insane, but now you can make the team around him look a lot better if you decide to use this character as your leader. So instead of just breaking the 200% thing that we got going on, because I don't think they do that for a while. I think like the next time we see a leader skill jump could probably be like 11th or 12th anniversary. I think it'll stay 200 for a while. So then the next natural best choice, in my opinion, is again just giving these leader skills a bit more categories to them, which of course increases how many characters you can actually run and how many good characters you can run at that. Because I think even if we're gonna say this isn't the best team of all time, this is a lot better than this. You actually have options on this team. And then I chose Accelerated Battle only because, again, the category itself, I do believe needs more leaders, especially an LR leader at that. But again, the category itself is not a bad category by any means, and with the CZA and the leader skill, you now really do have options. And this team is the reason why we have the UI Gokus on here, right? The reason why we have the Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, or even God Goku. And even if you can't fit one of these Accelerated Battle characters on Kamehameha or Final Trump Card, you can still run in, you know, General 170 for Accelerated Battle, and it literally include any one of these characters here. So it's still a major buff and honestly a massive buff in my opinion. And that's personally the categories that I would add to the Super Saiyan 4 leader skill. When it comes to the gods, the route that you can take is pretty interesting here. So the gods, when it comes to their categories, I was trying to figure out, okay, what categories can we really add here? And first I was looking at time limit. And time limit, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't really do much. The big hitters on this category are already fit on the team. If you notice, the leader skill is Power Beyond Super Saiyan and Movie Heroes and Kamehameha. Most of these characters on this team are Power Beyond Super Saiyan characters who are also on Kamehameha. Like, we're not really, although I would love to give a new leader to time limit, this is not something that I think really deserves you know, like any not praise, but like adding this would really do nothing for the team. So I don't think time limit is honestly a good option. Then I was considering, you know what, let's do Mastered Evolution. Mastered Evolution is a decent choice, simply because, again, the leader skills aren't, or the leaders aren't the greatest. But then again, looking at this team, it's like you have a lot of similar characters here, and the characters that we could add aren't making a massive difference for the team, or even the leader skill that we have going on here, right? So instead, I went with a category that already has quite a few leaders, but I think it makes a pretty big difference. I went with Joined Forces, as the leader skill for 170, and then I kept the final trump card thing the same. That's just me trying to be as realistic as possible. I don't think that they would really change, like, because these units here both had Kamehameha as their extra 30%. I think if they do end up adding categories, whatever category they add to that last part, it would probably end up being mirrored with the other character. So again, I think keeping final trump card the same there, just like the Super Saiyan 4s, but adding a different category here would be good. And that makes this category go from this, which honestly is already a pretty decent, looking roster, to this. So now, as you can see, with small differences, when it comes to this team, we now have the 8th anniversary LRs on this team, which of course is a massive W. When they get their EZA'S next year, or the year after the next anniversary, it's gonna make this team look pretty good, depending on how well these units themselves age, right? We have the GOAT Triku on this team. You can't doubt the GOATness of Triku. We also have 2 9th anniversary LRs in Gogeta as well as the Gammas. On this team, you do not have STR LR Turles. I don't know why you'd want to run him here, but it's definitely an option, right? Another great addition to this team is, of course, the EZA for STR Vegito. You can't flex STR Vegito right now. You also have, of course, wait, do you also have him here? You do. What was the other? Oh, yeah. Spare Bomb Absorb Goku, of course, isn't here currently, but could be on this team. And then just the inclusion of a bunch of other TURs and stuff that have not made it to their way to this team, but would be with the inclusion of this category. So while I do think this buff wouldn't be the greatest buff of all time, because the leader skill is already pretty good, I think that adding specific small, additions to the team, like the Vegito, Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku. I think, wait, was Gohan on the team before? Gohan was on the team before, okay. But Gogeta, the Gammas, both 8th year anniversary LRs, just makes the team a bit more chunkier and a bit easier to run. And in my opinion, does put these teams on a similar playing field, only because this team, the Gods leader skill, has aged so much better than this team here. Like, actually insanely much better. Or that phrasing doesn't sound right, but you get the point. So now I think if you take a look at this new and improved leader skill and compare it to this new and improved leader skill, I'm not going to sit here and say which one's better or worse, but having the UIs here is a pretty good case. I mean, you have the Gammas and Gogeta on both leader skills, so not like that, is a big thing. Yes, Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku and Vegeta on both leader skills as well. The only thing this leader skill really has over the other is just Triku and the other 8th anniversary LR. So you can sit here and easily, this this leader skill is better, which I do think would be really cool for the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because his leader skill was not even close to as good as Gogeta's on release, as well as it hasn't aged nearly as well. So this makes it a lot easier for to run this team. It also allows them both to age a lot more gracefully compared to what it was before. So this is the choice that I would pick. These are the categories that I would pick. You can probably think of a combination of leader skills to add that would be a lot better, but personally, that's what I would do, and this is what I'm hoping for. When these characters get EZA'S, if they can just add a category here and a category there, and I'm talking about just impactful categories that actually adds new and good characters to the team, it's going to make running these guys, especially double of them, really, 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 really fun. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you enjoyed. I got a lot more videos to cover for you, so I'll get working on that. Thank you so much for your love and support. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Merry Christmas and good night.